Well, hello, Derbyverse. This is Blanche Devereux coming to you live from the Mile High City in Denver, Colorado. Tonight we have our home team games for the month of February. I missed you guys last month. This Southern girl still does not do snow, so we didn't make it this time. So I'm happy to be back in the seat bringing you guys the action this evening. So we're going to get started. I'm going to do something a little different and read the rosters early so we can make sure we get everybody read along with the officials. And then we'll go ahead and get started with our first bout, which is going to be the juniors bout between the Cupids and the Lovebugs. All right, so for the first roster, we're going to read for Team Cupids. You've got 1-0 Sid Vicious, 1-5 Brawly Pop, 7-1-7 Hello Hitty, 2-4 Spider Slam, 3-5-3 Beetle Kill, 4-3 Loose Cannon, 5-0 Poltergeist, 6-1-6 El Diablo, 6-3-0 Dale Force Wind, number 8 Penny Lane, 1-4 Hizzle, 1-6-0 Rosie Lethal. I'm going to go with that. 1-8 Shiva the Destroyer, 3-0 Q Nasty, 4-2 Veruca Assault, 4-6-2 Barracuda, number 6 Direwolf, 6-2-6 Stitch, and number 77 Autumn. All right, and for the Lovebugs, we've got 1-1-3 Slasher, 1-3 Beholder, 1-7-2 Hyperact, 3-0-3 Ratatouille, 3-6 Sherlock Bones, 4-7 Tricks, 5-2 Panic, 666 Waffles, 8-1-1 Cottonmouth, 9-9 Saturn, 1-2 Havoc, 1-7 Dynamite Dog, number 219 Scarylicious, 31 Trick or Treat, 44 Mars, 515 Kit Kat, number 63 Red Rover, 73 Starface, and 89 Taco Cat. That was some long roster lists. And for the first game, I was actually able to get the officials roster as well, which was really awesome of them to give me. So the first game, head ref, you've got Primeval, you've got, I think it's internal pack ref, you've got Milf and Cookies, Jam ref, you've got Engine and Margie. Outside pack ref, you've got Sassy Biatch, Cat Sergeant, and then Ginger Spice. Your head NSO for this one's going to be Stack Trace. Jam timing, you've got Ultraviolet Blue. Scorekeepers and the scoreboard, you've got Blasphemous, Sonar, and Snarkamedes. And then in the penalty box, the manager is going to be Benandy. Your penalty box timers are going to be Stretch and Nicholas Purington. And then the penalty box PLT. Oh, penalty lineup tracker, Bad Skills, and Stack Trace. These acronyms have gotten me, so if I missed something, let me know. Okay, so we have a few people that are joining us tonight. So everybody, I see we've got like 5 or 6 viewers. Everybody in the chat, say hey. Let me know who you're cheering for tonight, so I'll be sure to point out, what everybody does. Keep you guys in the loop. Okay, we've got a few more people filtering in here to join us for this first game tonight. So, yeah, so we've got our juniors game now and then our adults game after this. Only a minute or so left to skate or to get started. Okay, so we are less than a minute to Derby. And we've already got everybody lined up. Can everybody hear me okay? I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Thumbs up? That'd be cool. Haha, thank you. I'm glad somebody gave me the thumbs up because I thought I was talking to just the void, I guess you could say. All right, 2 and 1. Here we go. All right, we got our 5-second warning, and for the Cupids, you've got Hizzle as your jammer, and you've got Scary Licious for the Lovebugs. Hizzle is going to end up with lead jam, but Scary Licious and Hizzle are neck and neck coming back around to the back of the pack. Scary Licious makes it through, but not before. Oh, she got through. Got through and put 2 points up on the board. Looks like Hizzle had to call off the jam, but not before he picked up 4 points. Okay, lining up on the Skate Rats jam line for Cupids, you've got Barracuda, and then Lovebugs have decided to fill Sherlock Bones. Looks like Barracuda is going to pick up your lead jam. I'm going to come around to the back of the pack, pick up some points before Sherlock is able to even get out of the pack. Looks like there was a forearm block being sent to the box for the Cupids. Eight points up for Barracuda. Excuse me, 7 points up for Barracuda on that one. Looks like 0 for the Lovebugs. right, so lining up on this Gay Ratch Jam line, you've got Sid Vicious for Cupids, and then for Lovebugs, you've got Cottonmouth. Both jammers are in the pack, but it looks like Sid Vicious is going to end up with your, no, excuse me, Cottonmouth is going to end up with your lead jam. Okay, so the jam was called off. 4 points put up for the Lovebugs on that one, and it left the Cupids at 0. So score is now 1 point differential, 9-8, Cupids in the lead. All right, lining up on the Skate Rats Jam line, you've got Beetle Kill for Cupid. And then you have for the Lovebugs, can't see, that's 353. It's hard to see the number. It's hard to see the number. I'm not sure who the jammer is for. I can't see the number, unfortunately. If anybody knows who the blue jammer is here in the back and can give me a name, that'd be great, because I can't see a number. Saturn, that's the name. Okay, it just popped up on the screen. Saturn is going to be your jammer for the Lovebugs. Seven points scored by Beetle Kill and the Cupids. And it looks like your pivot for the Lovebugs have been sent to the penalty box to sit for a few minutes. For a minute, 30 seconds. All right, so Saturn gets through the pack on the initial pass. $15 points going up for the Cupids on that one. 0 for the Lovebugs, but that's going to put the Cupids up 24-8. All right, on your Skate Ratch Jam line, you've got Spider Slam for Cupids, and you've got Starface for Lovebugs. And it looks like Spider Slam is going to end up as your lead jammer, but Starface is out of the pack as well and coming up behind Spider Slam. All right, a little ducking and dodging by Spider Slam there to pick up a few points, then call it off. 2 going up for both teams, it looks like. Okay, so it looks like we have one person in the penalty box for the Cupids, I believe. And then wearing the star for the Lovebugs is Dynamite Dog. And then for Cupids, you've got Hello Hitty. Wow, it's a tight pack here on the straightaway, but Hello Hitty finally found the hole and got out on the initial pass. While Hitty's been stuck in the pack, you've had Dynamite Dog running around the track here, picking up some points. I believe she's on her second pass. This will be the second scoring pass. All right, Hitty's put some points on the board. And it looks like both jammers put 4 points up. Nope, excuse me. They always get me with extra points as soon as I say something. So 8 goes up for the Lovebugs, 4 for the Cupids. Got a little less than 22 minutes, 23 minutes left to play. Lined up on your Skate Rats Jam line, you've got Q Nasty for the Cupids and Slasher for the Lovebugs. All right, Slasher is going to end up with the lead jam position. But Q Nasty got some help from the blockers and was able to get out on the initial pass. Going to get to come around and put some points on the board for a team. All right, both jammers are in the pack. Oh, does it look like Q Nasty put any points up for the Lovebugs? Doesn't look like Q Nasty grabbed any points on that one, so they sit at 0 points for that jam. Lovebugs are closing that lead, so it's 30-22 with the Cupids still leading. All right, rolling into jam number 8, you've got Autumn wearing the star for the Cupids, and then you've got Sherlock Bones wearing the star for the Lovebugs. Autumn ended up with the lead jam and is coming around to the back of the pack. Bones was able to get out of the pack. A little step over on the infield there, and I was expecting a track cut, but it didn't get called. So Autumn was able to call it off with 4 points up on the board for that jam. It doesn't appear the Lovebugs was able to put any points up there, but that's okay. 34-22. On the Skate Rats Jam line, you've got Sid Vicious for Cupids, who I believe picked up lead jam, and then you've got Trick or Treat for Lovebugs. Oh, Trick or Treat is going to go sit in the penalty box. I did not see the call, but it is a power jam for Sid Vicious and the Cupids. Trick or Treat is standing in the penalty box, so that means less than 10 seconds left before he's able to join the track. And back into play, Trick or Treat comes, and it's a jammer exchange. Sid Vicious is going to come sit down for 30 seconds, and it's going to give Trick or Treat a chance to have a power jam. Trick or Treat almost had that outside line, but I think to be safe, it's going to come back to recycle behind and pivot here in turn number 1. Slid right through on the inside line for 4 easy points. Sid Vicious has joined the party from the penalty box. And both jammers are on the track, and we have no lead jammer, so we get the final 14 seconds of this jam. And it looks like right now both jammers are tied points-wise. Cupids ended up putting up 12 on that one, and the Lovebugs put up 8. 16 point differential between the two right now, but anybody's game at this point. We all know how Derby works. Lining up on your Skate Rats Jam line, you've got Dale Force for the Cupids. And I believe that's Saturn for Lovebugs. Scarylicious? Nope. Scarylicious is Lovebugs. And then Dale Force is going to be Cupids. It's hard for me to see names today. Scarylicious is going to go sit down and give a power jam to the Cupids and Dale Force. Okay, so we have one returning from the penalty box to play for the Lovebugs. And Scarylicious is now back out on the track for the Lovebugs as well in the jammer. We do not have a lead jam, so we've got 45 seconds left in this one. Inside line, 4-point pickup for Scarylicious. Excuse me. Looks like there was a star pass from Dale Force to Beetle Kill. All right, little inline push there by Beetle to get 3 points. All right, the jam comes to an end, and it looks like the Cupids and the Lovebugs were able to put up 7 points each. Are you guys tuning into Derby for the first time ever and thought, hey, this looks kind of fun, I want to try it? Well, good news, Denver Roller Derby can teach you. We've taught some of Colorado's best skaters, and we'll teach you everything you need to know, from stopping, falling, hitting, and really just Derby itself. So you can also join if you're interested in volunteering or becoming an official. Flight school is 8 weeks long, and new recruit night is the 26th. So next week, I think? Yeah, next Wednesday. So come join us on next Wednesday, the 26th. And you can email join@denverrollerderby.org to get started. You don't have to have skating experience, but, you know, that's always a plus. But come join the community today and find your people. All right, and while I was doing my whole little spiel about recruit night, there were 4 points put up by the Lovebugs, closing that gap just a little, and 0 for the Cupids. All right, we will have both jammers on the track, and it looks like you've got Veruca Assault wearing the star for the Cupids, and then Mars wearing it for the Lovebugs. Lead jammer is going to go to Mars, and Veruca has the star in hand. Trying to find a line. Veruca's still in the back here, trying to fight through on the initial. Four points going up for Mars and the Lovebugs, closing that gap just a little bit. All right, looks like Veruca got out on the initial pass and is going to be able to score points. But Mars decides to not allow that to happen. 7 points going up for the Lovebugs and kept the Cupids to scoreless. 53-48 right now. Cupids leading with a little less than 13 minutes left to play. Okay, we got the 5-second count, and then on the Skate Ratch Jam line, you've got Brawly Pop and Slasher. Brawly Pop is going to be your lead jammer. And Slasher is out of the pack as well, so both are out of the pack, and and a call-off. That was fast. 3 points, I think, went up for the Cupids, and then 2 for the Lovebugs on that one. Lovebugs just keep closing this gap, little by little, jam by jam. Sometimes that's the only way to get it done. Lined up on that Skate Ratch Jam line, you have a Stitch wearing the star for the Cupids and Hyperact for the Lovebugs. And it does look like Hyperact is going to be getting your lead jammer position. Well, that was almost like a really slick play on Autumn's part. Wasn't sure what was going on there, but star pass. Ooh. Star pass from Stitches to Autumn, who took a hit to the chest but got up. He's got the star and is going to go around and hopefully get some points on the board for her team. And it looks like the Lovebugs have come really close to closing this gap. Only a couple more points needed. Oh, we got a 1-point game. 4 points for the Cupids on that jam, 9 for the Lovebugs, making it 60-59, a 1-pointer. Still got 10 minutes left, so of course, all that can change. All right, on your Skate Ratch Jam line, you've got Sid Vicious for the Cupids and Cottonmouth for Lovebugs. And it looks like Sid Vicious is going to be your lead jammer. All right, multiplayer block on Blue 63. Going to go sit down and weaken that front wall there and let Sid Vicious get through for 4 points. I don't believe Cottonmouth has gotten out of the pack yet. I don't think so. This Cupid wall has kept Cottonmouth in turn number 1 and 2 until just now. Ooh, little sweep there by Spider Slam to help Sid Vicious clear that last point. 12 big points went up for Sid Vicious and the Cupids on that one. I believe that the Lovebugs were scoreless on that. We'll see if they like to put numbers up after I say something. No, looks like it's going to stay 12-0. All right, lined up on your Skate Ratch Jam line, you've got Rose Lethal and then Saturn. Okay, your lead jammer is going to be going to Rosie Lethal. Okay, so Saturn is out on the initial pass. Rosie Lethal. I'll have to check on how to say that one on halftime. put up 4 points for the Cupids. 0 again for the Lovebugs on that one, so still sitting at 59. 76 right now for the Cupids. I just want to take a quick second to thank Sisu. They're the perfect mouth guard, and they're one of our sponsors. Sisu mouth guards offer unparalleled protection and comfort for really any sport. So they're a comfortable fit. You can say goodbye to the old bulky mouth guards, and you're able to talk, breathe, and drink water with ease in these Sisu mouth guards. Breathing, talking, and drinking water are all very important, so we love Sisu and the guards that they make. Oh, man, and while I was talking, you've got a power jam now. It looks like Autumn, who was going to be your jammer for the Cupids, has to go sit down. I didn't see the penalty. Track cut. Glit is running the camera for us tonight and was able to tell me the penalty. And that is going to give a power jam. Okay, Autumn has been released from the penalty box. All right, both jammers got through the pack. Sherlock Bones is going to be your jammer for the Cupids. And the Lovebugs were able to put up 4 points on that jam. We've got less than 6 minutes left to play in this half. On your Ski Rats jam line, you've got Hello Hitty for the Cupids and then Mars for the Lovebugs. Lead jam's going to go to Hello Hitty. But Mars is out of the pack and getting ready to come around to score on a power jam because Hello Hitty is going to go sit down for penalty. And that is going to put Mars out on the track with almost a full set of blockers. You've got your pivot sitting in the penalty box for the Cupids. All right, we have an empty penalty box, and both jammers are now on the track. Oh, spin there from Hello Hitty on the straightaway. That's beat, I think it was Hizzle. It's going to be a full jam. No lead jammer on this one. This is the third jam we've seen like this in this half. It's exhausting when you're the jammer. Little toe stop skip there on the outside line for Mars to pick up 4 more points. All right, jam comes to an end. 16 big points for the Lovebugs on that one, and they needed it to close that gap a little bit. Cupids were able to respond with 10 of their own points, making it 86-79. Got about 3 minutes left, 3.5 minutes left to play in this half. All right, on your Skate Rats jam line, you had Hizzle for the Cupids, who picked up that lead jam position real quick. And then you've got Waffles, who just got out of the pack as well on the initial. 4 easy points to the outside line for Hizzle. Oof. Waffles tried to follow the same path, but ended up tripping. And Hizzle called it off with 4 points, so a hit and quit for Hizzle. The Lovebugs were able to pick up 1, so a nice even score, 90-10. We love even. 2 minutes left. On your Skate Rats Jam line, you've got the Dire Wolf for Cupids, and then you've got Starface for Lovebugs. Lead is going to go to Dire Wolf and the Cupids. Track cut is going to be going to Starface, I think. Yep, Starface is going to go sit for a track cut. It's going to give Dire Wolf the Power Gem. Hi, Skara. Wish you were here, miss your face. Okay, so Starface has been released from the penalty box and is going to join the party at the back of the pack. And I'm going to have to come up against this wall of Cupids that has just been holding everybody to turn 1 and 2, it seems. All right, Jam was called off. We may have one more lineup before the half. Okay, last jam of this half on the Skate Rats Jam line. You've got Dynamite Dog for the Lovebugs and Sid Vicious for the Cupids. Dynamite Dog is going to end up with lead jam. Oh, hard hit to the outside line by Spider Slam. And Sid Vicious was able to get out on the initial pass, but not before the jam was called off. So 4 points went up for the Lovebugs on that one. So finishing the half with 102-88. About a 15-minute intermission here, guys, and we're going to come back for the second half of the game. Welcome back to the second half of our juniors game. First half, you saw the Cupids take the lead with 102 over the Lovebugs, who are sitting at 88. Both teams, I think, have quite a few penalties up, but I don't think there's anybody in like serious penalty trouble. Let me see if I can take a look at our penalty trackers here and see. It's too small. Okay, kind of cuts it off there at the bottom, but you can see that you've got a couple of players here that have a couple of, I guess you could say, fouls or trips to the box for the Cupids, but nobody in dire straights on the penalty on that side. Now let's see for the other one. Oh, few more penalties for the Lovebugs, and I hate that that's cut off at the bottom. But yeah, it looks like the Lovebugs are having a little bit more of an issue going to the penalty box than the Cupids are, but let's see here, and I think we're about ready to get started. Okay, there's the whistle for our first jam of the second half. On the Skate Rats jam line, you've got Loose Cannon for the Cupids and Panic for the Lovebugs. Panic has picked up the lead jam position and is going to come around and put some points on the board, but Loose Cannon is right behind. Four points going out for Panic and the Lovebugs. All right, it looks like 5 points were picked up by the Cupids, 8 for the Lovebugs on that one. We've only got one person in the penalty box, and it looks like it's the pivot. Lined up on your Skate Rats jam line and taking that lead jam position real quick for the Cupids is Autumn. Left behind in the pack, you've got Starface for the Lovebugs wearing the star. Starface is out of the pack. Autumn decides to call off the jam before the other jammer is able to pick up any points. Looks like 3 went up for the Cupids, 0 for Lovebugs. All right, line up on your Skate Rats jam line. You've got Sid Vicious for Cupids and Cottonmouth for Lovebugs. Cottonmouth is going to skate away with lead jam, but Sid Vicious is out of the pack as well, so both jammers are able to score some points on this go-round. Both jammers are in the pack, and it looks like Sid Vicious, well, Sid did have the front, but Cottonmouth pushed through and picked up 4 points. Oof. All right, Cottonmouth calls off the jam, putting 8 points up for the Lovebugs. 5 went up for Sid Vicious and the Cupids. Both teams are now in triple digits and only, 11 points apart from each other? Yes, 11. On your Skate Rats jam line, you've got Brawly Pop for the Cupids and Ratatouille for Lovebugs. big pile up here in turn number 1. Ratatouille, your jammer for the Lovebugs, ending up stomach to stomach with a blocker from the other team. And that gave Brawly Pop a chance to become the lead jammer. All right, Ratatouille has gotten out of the pack on the initial pass. Little trip and call off there. But picked up 8 points, the Cupids did, on that jam, 123 to 104. I don't believe any went up for the Lovebugs on that jam. Your Skate Rats jam line, you've got Autumn for the Cupids, and then for Lovebug, you've got Waffles. And it looks like Waffles is going to end up your lead jammer for this jam. Whew. 4 points right there for Waffles, and I thought it was a clean sweep, but tripped up, and then the pack caught up. Oof. Autumn is going to the box for a forearm. And it's going to give Power Jam to Waffles and the Lovebugs. Waffles is weaving away back and forth from inside line to outside line, trying to find the best way through. And did find it here in turn 1 on the outside line for 4 points. 12 so far for Waffles on this. I can't say that all 12 of those were from the Power Jam, but a pretty big number of them were, I'd say. $16 points now. Autumn is out of the pack on the initial pass. Wow, big jam for Waffles and the Lovebugs. I'm gonna take a guess at 20, but looking like 16 maybe. I'm waiting. Yeah, okay, 16 points. It's gonna be it for that jam. 3 points between the two, so the Lovebugs have closed that lead. On your Skate Rats jam line, you've got Hello Hitty for the Cupids and Dynamite Dog for Lovebugs. And it looks like Dynamite Dog is going to get out with your lead jam. And I think Hitty, yeah, Hello Hitty got out as well. So both jammers are out of the pack. Oof. Hard hit there in turn 2 to Hitty for a recycle all the way back. We're going to go all the way back to turn number 4. And try again. 4 points up for Dynamite Dog. And I think Hitty is going to the box for a track cut. Oh, and that's going to be a Power Jam start for the Cupids, I think. I'm having a hard time with the colors. Okay. On your Skate Rats jam line, you've got Slasher for the Lovebugs, and then you've got Hello Hitty starting in the penalty box. That is going to give the advantage to Slasher and the Lovebugs because Slasher did pick up lead jammer. Oh, 4 points going up. Both Hello Hitty and the other blocker are standing and released to the pack, or to the track rather. Okay, Hitty gets through on the initial. 4 more points up, put up by who? By the Lovebugs. Hitty was not able to put up any points for the Cupids as she spent most of her time in the penalty box on that one and didn't get a chance to get around the pack before they called it off. Got an empty penalty box over there, so full set of blockers and jammers here. In your Skate Rats jam line, you had Barracuda for the Cupids and Hyperact for Lovebugs. Lead jam is going to go to Barracuda. Oof. Okay. So you say slammed into the pack, made it through and put 4 points up. I don't believe Hyperact has gotten out on the initial yet. Trying to find a line. Ooh. Man, both jammers are trying to use the outside line, and both are recycled back to turn 2. All right, Hyperact got out of the pack, but not before the Cupids call it off. 11 points went up for the Cupids. It's a tie game, 136 to 136 with about 19, well, a little less than 19 minutes left to play in this half. On your Skate Rats jam line, you've got Veruca Assault for the Cupids and then Mars for Lovebugs. Veruca is going to end up with the lead jammer position, but Mars is out of the pack as well. Okay, so the pivot went to the box for a forearm. The jam was called off. Both teams put up 2 points, so we're still tied. That's fun. On your Skate Rats jam line, you had Scarylicious for the Lovebugs, who took that inside line unopposed and picked up the lead jam. Skating in opposition to Scarylicious, you've got Dale Forrest for the Cupids. Four points up for Scarylicious. Dale is still in the pack, trying to fight through on that initial. It does get through on the initial pass, and Scarylicious comes around for another 4 points, so 8 points altogether for Scary on this run. And to call off on your Skate Rats jam line for this jam, you've got Barracuda wearing the star for the Cupids, and Sherlock Bones for the Lovebugs, who has picked up lead jam. So Bones is going to come back around to the back of the pack and pick up 4 easy points and call it off. Hit and quit 4 points for Sherlock Bones and the Lovebugs. About 15 minutes left in this game. On our Skate Rats jam line, you've got Sid Vicious for the Cupids, who picked up lead jam, and then you've got Cottonmouth for the Lovebugs. Cottonmouth got out of the pack, and Sid Vicious comes around to the back of the pack to pick up some points. Oof. Big reach by Trick or Treat, and going to the penalty box for that hit. 4 going up for the Cupids on that, 1 for the Lovebugs. All right, on your Skate Rats jam line for the Cupids, you've got Beetle Kill. For the Lovebugs, you've got Saturn. Beetle Kill picked up that lead jam pretty quickly, and is going to come back around to get some points. Oof. All right, hit the back of the wall. All right, Trick or Treat is back on the track, and making Beetle Kill do some work. Came straight from the penalty box to start causing havoc. Chaos, havoc, whatever you want to call it. So it looks like there were 8 points possibly put up for the Cupids. 0 for the Lovebugs, it looks like, on that. 1 point game. And there has been a lead change. I noticed the lead change as this this jam was going on. So Lovebugs are now in the lead by 1. Your Skate Rats jam line, you've got Autumn for the Cupids and Starface for the Lovebugs. Oh, and an instant penalty, forearm penalty for Autumn. She's going to go sit for 30 seconds and give the power jam option here to Starface. And hopefully lead jam option too. All right, Starface is out of the pack and picked up lead jammer. Autumn is standing in the box and been released to join the party. So both jammers are on the track. Autumn's still on the initial pass and Starface on the scoring pass. Okay, we got a forearm for Autumn. So Autumn's going back to the penalty box. And another power jam for Starface, who picked up the first 4 points. All right, Autumn is now standing in the penalty box, so joining the party soon. But while she's been sitting, Starface has been able to put 8 points on the board and keep lead. Called off the jam after putting up, I think, either 8 or 12 points. 8? Yeah. Looks like 8 went up for the Lovebugs on that one, so 159. Cupids didn't get any. So it's still sitting at 150. About 10 minutes left in the game. Okay, on your Skate Ratch Jam line, you've got Spider Slam for the Cupids and then Dynamite Dog for the Lovebugs. Lead jam's gonna go to Spider Slam. Oof. Ooh. That hit right to the thigh. That's the sweet spot. Hit to the inside line there for Dynamite Dog and recycle back to turn number 4. I don't think Dynamite Dog has made it out of the pack yet. Still on the initial. All right. Okay, Spider Slam got out, and so did Dynamite Dog. All right. 5 points for the Cupids on that one. It doesn't appear the Lovebugs were able to put any points on the board, so they're still sitting at 159. 4 points separating these teams with only about 9 minutes left to play. On your Skate Ratch Jam line, you've got Hizzle for Cupids and then Slasher for the Lovebugs. Slasher was able to pick up the lead jam pretty quickly and is already on the way back around for the scoring pass. Picked up 4 points on that inside line, unopposed and with no issues. Hizzle's through the pack on the initial pass. All right, jam was called off. 7 points for the Lovebugs on that one, keeping the Cupids scoreless again for the 3rd jam in a row and just growing the lead, 166 to 55. All right, your Skate Ratch Jam line, you've got the Dire Wolf wearing the star for Cupids and then Sherlock Bones for the Lovebugs. Bones picked up the lead jam position. I believe is coming back around for scoring points. Four points going up for Bones. All right, Bones recycled back just to be on the safe side and then decided to call it off when you turned around and saw that the other gentleman was right there. 6 points, nope, 7. And another scoreless jam for the Cupids. Lovebugs keep pulling away with the lead. On that Skate Rats Jam line, you've got Sid Vicious for the Cupids. And it looks like, is that Mars maybe? Yeah, Mars for the Lovebugs. Looks like Sid Vicious ended up with lead jam, but is going to go sit down for a track cut. So that is going to give a power jam to Mars. Oh, Mars is trying so hard to find the line past all these blockers, but it is just not opening up for her. All right, Sid Vicious has been released from the penalty box and is joining the pack. Okay. All right, so it looks like Mars has gotten through and put 4 points up on the board. There's an additional 4, so it's 8 now for Mars. Vicious got out of the penalty box and has come in and done the initial and now put 4 points up. We still got 20-ish seconds left on the penalty clock, or on the jam clock. Oh, no. It looks like Mars is going to be going to sit for a track cut. And that's probably the worst timing ever. Because as soon as Mars hit the bench, the clock stopped. So there will be a power jam for the Cupids on this one, which honestly is exactly what they need, because Mars was able to put up 12 points on that jam. A 19-point differential between the two. So the Cupids do have a chance to bring it back here. And wow, Brawly Pop is going to be your jammer for the Cupids and ended up with the lead jam position on a power jam, which is exactly where you need to be, especially when you're behind. All right, 4 points. Okay. It looks like you've got a team timeout being called by the Cupids. And while we have a free minute, we haven't had too many opportunities for me to say anything other than the play-by-play. So welcome. Thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight in our live stream. We are very excited you guys are here and joining us for our February home team games. And also sports, sports. Shout outs for all of our sponsors. I haven't been able to do any of those either. So Collectivum, that's somebody that we just started working with. Collectivum Sports is dedicating to providing you with top quality custom gear, and it elevates your performance and showcases your passion for this sport and really any sport. So visit cvmsports.com for all of your jersey needs. And then once you get your jersey, just swing on by the Great Divide Brew Company. They're a brewery of great character, making remarkable beer while being active in the community, partly by supporting us here at the Roller Dome. So if you ever get the pleasure of joining us here for a bout, stop by the bar and get one of our Great Divide beers and enjoy. Boy, I timed that just right, because we're going to get right back to the action. You've got Mars in the penalty box for the Lovebugs, and you've got Spider Slam wearing the star for the Cupids. Mars has been released from the penalty box, but not before Spider Slam is able to pick up lead. 4 points up for Spider Slam. It was a 4-point hit and quit, so it's a 172 to 185. Lovebugs still in the lead. It looks like we've got another team timeout for the Cupids. Oh, the sibling rivalry. Yes. Lining up on our Skate Rats Jam line, we have the sibling rivalry of the Cotton Babies. I like to call, what is it that I called them? Little Cottons or something is what I called them at one point. The Baby Cottons, that's what I called them. Got 811 on the left there. See, there's Mom and Dad. That's the jammers out there right now. That's the Mom and Dad. Smash and Chet. You guys know Smash and Chet, I'm sure. I love watching them go off against each other. They're both such good jammers. All right, here's our sibling rivalry between, you've got Lovebugs, you've got Cottonmouth, and Hello Hitty for the Cupids. And Hitty ended up with lead jam, left her sister in the pack. Woo! One hit after another for Cottonmouth. Cottonmouth is out of the pack, and Hitty coming around. Right. Oh no! Oh no! It was a race. It was called off. The Cupids were able to put up 4 points because Hitty was able to get out first. Nine points separating these two teams. And we've only got like a little less than 2 minutes left. So really, the Cupids could come back and take this in one jam, or the Lovebugs could really pull away. It's anybody's game at this point. Oh boy, Q Nasty is gonna be your jammer for the Cupids and taking lead jam. Ratatouille is gonna be wearing the star for the Lovebugs. And both jammers are out of the pack. Q Nasty hitting the brakes there and the straightaway. That hockey stop on little Q Nasty there puts me to shame. All right, we got a timeout again. Three points went up for the Cupids on that one, so 6 point jam or 6 point differential. I want to do a quick shout out to Skate Rats. Skate Rats has been a longtime sponsor of Denver Roller Derby, and they are located in downtown Loveland. They've been a longtime sponsor and is a one-stop shop for all things skate. So check out their wide variety of products, from custom skates to safety gear to skateboards and clothing. There's over 10 years of experience the Skate Rats staff has, and they're friendly. So be sure to check out skaterats.com. That's SK8 RATZ.com for a great selection of product and speedy shipping. Okay, so this probably is the last jam of this game, and you've got Spider Slam picking up lead jam for the Cupids, and Starface is going to be your jammer for the Lovebugs. Apex skip for Spider Slam, and before the game, I was talking to Spider Slam, and they said that their mom told them that if they get an Apex, that they would give $5. So Spider's mom owes them $5. Proud of them. Proud of them. That was so good. Good job, Spider. You got that Apex jump. Oh, did they call it? Somebody called a timeout, so we will get one more jam, which was smart because it's so close. Yep, we're going to get one more. You've got the pivot for the Cupids, I believe. Yeah, for the Cupids sitting in the penalty box. And on the jammer line, for the Skate Rats jam line, you've got, it looks like Sid Vicious for the Cupids. And I think Mars, yeah, Mars would be for Lovebugs. All right. So you've got Sid Vicious facing off against Mars. Sid Vicious is going to end up with lead jam. Oh. Ooh. So they called it off before they got around to score any points. So I guess they just wanted to call it before even giving anybody a chance to score. So it looks like the unofficial score right now is 187 to 185 Cupids. There were a couple of lead changes. There was a little brief time there where they were within a few points of each other. And the final score is only 2 points differential. Wow, what a game. All right, so that is our first game of the evening for our juniors. If you guys will stick around for a little bit, we do have our adult home team game. This month you have the Bad Apples skating against the Grapes of Wrath. So stick with us. We will be back here shortly for the second game of the evening.